start this first episode by admitting that this is not the first episode. I, although having some experience using a computer, managed to delete audio files that I had no intention of deleting. These audio files contained recordings of Person A and Person B explaining the systemic problems of our society and laying out framework for a revolution. Unfortunately, and quite possibly due to some sort of CIA manipulation, these audio files were permanently deleted by myself, at least as far as I know. Now, I will admit that I may have been under the influence of drugs when this happened. But who's really to say whether these drugs were taken by myself recreationally or as part of some kind of MK Ultra style mind control experiment? I certainly can't recall, but what I do recall is a feeling of something important escaping my grasp. While I continue to search for the missing files, constantly looking over my shoulder, Person A and Person B will try to recreate this document with any audio files that may be salvaged, and by recreating the framework for action and change through spoken word. I apologize if the final product is crude. We are working with limited funds, limited structure, and finite resources. I hope for humanity's sake we are able to get our message out in time before it is too late. Although I'll admit my perception of time seems to be greatly distorted because, you know, the drugs.
But the thing that I feel like the thing that I feel like is cool about the thing that I wish that fucking could happen, right, is that like the vast majority of the candidates for president all like work together, right? Like, because if you think about it, right, like, so it's like, so Bernie's the president, right? The vice president is like Yang or Gabbard, right? A non-white person, right? A non-white man would be the best, right?
Actually, I think Yang would be a great choice for VP.
For Bernie,
yeah,
for sure. Especially because they're both economic populists, right? That's the thing that they're concerned about is the thing that you should be concerned about.
Yeah,
is just like money, jobs.
And like, you know, if he picked like Elizabeth Warren, that would be a Senate seat that would be left open.
And not only that, but Elizabeth Warren. If Elizabeth Warren would be anything, it would be like the fucking like the AG, right? Like the Attorney General. She would be a great Attorney General because her whole goddamn thing is like, why are all these people fucking everyone, right? Like that's her.
True.
That's the thing that like
She's kind of a bulldog in like, you know, economic policy.
Well, yeah, no, but that's the thing, right? Is that all right? These are the things that I've learned about the three biggies in the last couple of days, right, or weeks or whatever. Is like that Bernie is an OG fucking like you know, like a fucking German socialists, right? Like one of the OG motherfuckers that would like fucking beat up scabs. You know what I mean? And has also been beaten up by scabs, right? Elizabeth Warren is a lawyer who became a college professor who everybody loved, but who was also very hard on you, right? Who then got a grant or whatever to do a study about bankruptcy, right? Up until that point, she was like a sort of non-political Republican, right? A money person, so in other words, right? Like if you're a true believer Republican, then the only saving grace of you is that you are like, well, we shouldn't spend too much, and like in a real way.
Well,
right?
she grew up in, was it Kansas?
Oklahoma.
You know, kind of like, I think, military family. I know her brothers are military.
Well, no. She grew up in Oklahoma, and her I think it was her dad lost his job, her mom died or something. It was something that was like,
no, I think her dad either died or lost his job.
Yeah, and then her mom had to get a job, and that was like weird for the time. But it's like that, or the thing about her that's the most interesting is that like she actually went around and learned what like the bankruptcy laws and like the new laws and like all the like what the economy was actually doing to like real human beings, right? And then became a fucking angry non-Republican. Right?
Didn't she predict the financial crisis of 2008 too?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and she, but most importantly, right? It's like she lived on the other side, right? And then because of something that she actually learned, right? And this is the arguments people have about Elizabeth Warren, but the thing that's good about her, but that's also why she's not the best pick for the president, right? The better pick is Bernie Sanders, because Bernie Sanders is an OG fucking hard ass, right? And if there's anything that we need right now, is somebody who's like, God damn it, what the fuck?
Well,
right?
he's also a movement candidate.
Sure.
So just to give a quick thing, I think that Elizabeth Warren, a lot of her base would be very riled up to get her elected, and then simmer down, much like the way that we elected Obama.
Right.
We said, okay, we got our person in office.
Yeah, and
then they're going to do it.
Right.
But Bernie is the one who understands. He's like, no, all of my speeches, all of my power, my voice as president has to go towards riling up the people, all of the people who are, marginalized, not spoken, who don't have power, don't have voice. We all need to come together and march on, whatever town has some senator or whatever who's blocking the legislation that the people want. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And especially in election season, because, that's the nice thing about having 4 years. There's elections within that time with senators and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if you can at least make some progress towards that in those 4 years, then...
and that's why if I'm on my most optimistic day, right, when I think that, hey, you know what, and I am here now making fun of myself for ever thinking this, because and I think that I hope that more leftists, so-called leftists, Bernie people, like, recognize this in themselves every now and then, right? Like, it's good to have hope. You have to in order to survive.
We could easily get whoever. It doesn't even matter who wins the Democratic nomination. Trump could beat any of them, and we could have 4 more years of Trump. And Bernie's not going to run again in 2024. So if Bernie is your candidate, then you kind of have to go all in now. That definitely would be a hell of a debate to watch. I tell you what, man, watching Biden and Trump, they should do it like they started the debate at like 9 p.m. Eastern time, so they're both like sufficiently sundowned by then. It would be a spectacle to watch. Like they would both be so fucking confused about where they are, and like
I want it. This is what I want. I want, instead of debates, because let's be honest, debates are the worst. They're so fucking boring and nothing happens and nothing gets said and it's horrible and I hate it. And so does fucking everybody else.
Well, like, I don't think they're boring.
Oh, I hate
but
them.
I don't like the format of them. And it's been especially annoying. Like the last debate had, I think, 10 candidates, and it's like, let's ask one candidate a question about this issue, and then let's let another candidate that likes to yell a lot respond to that, and then let's move on to another question. It's like, well, what about the other 8 people? Like, you asked 2 people who have slightly different opinions, but the other 8 people might have ideas.
Well, I mean,
and then you know, and sometimes they focus more on the more prominent candidates, the front runners, but still, it's like, some of them got so much time to talk, and they didn't really even say much.
Yes.
Like Amy Klobuchar and
yes.
people like that. They just like they go on and on about they talk about Trump.
The people that I hate, right? It's like, because look, man, woman, whoever you are, right? That it's like, I think now what it's okay. So I had my candidate list before, but now I'm fucking. They added people, and now I'm fucking like, I'm so mad that I can't even.
Well, so here's the deal. There's 6 people that have qualified for the December debate, which is in a week or 2.
Or it certainly better be, because it's fucking December.
I think it's December 19th. So the people who have qualified are, of course, Biden, Bernie, Warren, Amy Klobuchar, Buttigieg.
Really? She really
I'm pretty sure those are the 6. Wait, how many did I just name? 5?
I don't know.
There's another one. I don't think Cory Booker has made it yet.
Didn't he quit?
No, he hasn't quit yet. I think he's on the verge. Kamala Harris dropped out.
Right, which is good. Thank God.
I think she actually qualified for the debate.
But good for her.
I could be wrong.
And she just...
Andrew Yang's on the verge, I know, if he hasn't qualified yet. But anyways, then you have Michael Bloomberg, and Deval Patrick just jumped in. And Michael Bloomberg is likely not to qualify for any debates because he's not accepting donations.
From anyone?
No. Which, I mean, he doesn't have... He has $52 billion or whatever, but he doesn't need any donations. But at the same time, if that's how you get on the debate stage, even Tom Steyer and some of these other guys, they said, "Hey, send me $1 so to get me on the stage."
When I was in,
bleep.
there was a bunch of fucking like homeless people trying to get Tom Steyer on the ballot for the primary. They kept coming up to me.
Really?
Right? Yeah. And at first I was like, I thought it was like a thing. Right?
Uh-huh.
Like I was like, oh, I don't live here. And the guy was like, oh, well, do you live here? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, oh, okay, well then this applies to you. I was like, okay, well, what is it? Like this, like looking at him like,
Yeah.
this better be good, motherfucker. Right? Now I didn't ask him whether or not he was getting paid by the signature. If he was getting paid by the signature, then I would have fucking. I didn't ask him.
So he was definitely a homeless guy?
If he wasn't, then he was just a poorly dressed, hippie or whatever. Wait, did you turn it off? Well, let's, get crazy about this, what's, if we're gonna do this. Enter the board. There's gonna be scrapping for fucking resources by the fucking, the most major motherfuckers who, like, are gonna rebuild the species from the ground up once it all dies, right? Like, who are the new Sun Earth people, right? Like the whatever they are, right? But they're not me at all. And I don't think they're anybody I know. Maybe a couple. I might know one or two, like, new Sun Warrior fucking, hoarding, murdering bastards, right? Who are going to have to fucking, let's face it, like, start over, right? From almost scratch, right? Like, that'll be, well, I'll be gone for that. And I want no part of it. And, Trump is like a thing that, like, even as you live every day with it, it doesn't get any more comprehensible. It doesn't get any more, just, it's like in the annals of people voting and thinking and acting and feeling against their own self-interest in every way possible, right? Including their very perception of objective reality, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's like, yo, I don't know, how the fuck is that gonna get fixed? Right? What? Like, now, granted, there's probably more of us, the people who believe in objective reality, at least, right? Who can look at Trump and be like, what the fuck? Like,
Well, you know what I'm afraid of right now, actually? Trump has obviously really been able to kind of do this reality manipulation thing, fact, false, fake news, all this kind of, bending, but he's obviously not like a hyper intelligent person. So my fear is that whoever ends up being president in the next 4 years or 8 years or whatever, what's going to come after that if somebody much smarter than Trump figures out how to manipulate people in the same way, but even on a larger scale, You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's very possible. It's so,
Yes.
because obviously having the internet, being able to Google any question you have, and looking up multiple sources and all that is at the fingertips of almost everyone. And yet, false information and, hyperbolic, smears
because of course.
shit. It's yeah.
Of course, as much real truth is there also false nonsense. Actually is afraid and want to make the change that we might be the thing that we have needed to do for 100 years, or might be a child's band-aid on a shotgun wound, right? Like, that's the thing that I keep thinking, right? Is that this whole, and the thing that I keep sort of reading over and over again, and the all the history that I know, right, is like, oh god, dude, it's all gonna go, it's like the way it's been going, right? The very minor surface gains versus the tremendous losses of humanity as a collective item, right? Can't be fixed, right? It's over. We had our chance 1,000,000 times, and we didn't do it. And so now, like as in right now, this, whatever, December 2019, is that while at the same time the most people that have ever been are woken up, right? The most people that have also ever been that haven't been quite a majority, right, are people that literally don't believe the things that are looking them right in the face, right? The Trump people that are like, he's the greatest president that's ever lived and all that, those motherfuckers, there's more of those motherfuckers, while they themselves still don't quite constitute a total majority, right? Now, I would argue also that the people that just aren't paying attention at all, right, are also sort of part of that thing, right? Because, and I would even go further and say the people that are just like, we just need to get rid of Trump, hopefully, right? Hopefully I'm wrong about this part, right? But the people who are just like, fuck it, I want to get rid of Trump, which I very much am, are just as delusional as the people who think that if Trump says that something is black, even though it's white.